How is this even gonna go down like this right now? How? Today we are reacting to episode 6 of the One Piece live action series, The Chef and the Chore Boy. This is the second part of the Baratier arc. The first episode was both of our favorites, or one of our favorites, a standout for sure. Banger of an episode.
Certified banger.
I'm looking for the heart in this episode, though. And just more Taz as Sanji, please. More Taz. Although the Mihawk Zoro stuff from the last episode was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Chef's kiss, pun intended. Super excited to see how the arc wraps up. So let's just jump into our reaction of episode 6, The Chef and the Chore Boy.
Easy, easy. Easy.
Where's he bleeding from?
Everywhere. Someone needs to go back to Baratier.
I'm really not hungry right now, Nami.
Not food. Maybe one of the customers is a ship's doctor.
Help! Help! Zoro needs a doctor!
Whoa, slow down, Chore Boy. Can't understand a word you're saying. Wait, and where do you think you're going?
Help Chore Boy's friend.
Fine. Bring me my kitchen knives and a bottle of our best whiskey. And a fresh yellowtail from the cooler. Bigger the better.
A yellowtail?
Yes! Yes!
Fish skin helps staunch the wounds, heals the flesh a lot faster.
I decided to let him go.
I specifically told you to bring him to
Kobe stays
Vice
eavesdropping.
Admiral, I don't take orders.
It makes so much sense now.
Maybe
Why?
your grandson will be the one to find the One Piece after all.
Kobe!
Kobe just found out.
Kobe just shit his pants.
Zeph once told me that making decisions is what separates a captain from the rest of his crew. And he was one of the best pirate captains that ever sailed the seas.
Seth was a pirate? Were you on his crew or something?
Not exactly.
We're getting the flashback.
I'm working on my velouté. Gotta get the texture just right.
Fiddle, what?
Aww.
This is a ship's galley.
Cute.
You're never gonna serve fancy stuff like that. Pirates? We're gonna get out of here!
Volute.
Stays spiced.
Oh!
But I'm not gonna die here. Not until I find the old blue.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Storm sunk both our ships.
What do we do?
We wait.
Holy
Damn.
shit.
Hope that a partial ship spots us before that sun.
Why do you get the bigger one?
Because I'm 3 times your size, that's why. Now go over to the other side and keep a lookout. Don't you bother me unless you see a ship. You got it? I said you got it! Now go!
Rainwater. Jesus.
Day 25! Oh my God.
Ay, ay, ay.
I think he'd be looking a little more gaunt by day 30. 50. Oh my God. I mean, I read the manga. I know what happens, and it's still crazy as hell to see in live action.
If you won't give me any, I'll kill him myself.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. Shout out Sweet Tooth.
Thought I told you to stay put.
You still have some food. You gotta give me some. Where is it? Your leg. What happened?
This man ate himself.
You ate it. You gave me all the food. Why?
Wow.
Because you're an eggplant. I have been searching for the All Blue my whole life. But now my time has come to an end. You share the same dream as me. Believe me. The All Blue is real. And if I can't find it, well then maybe you can. And I'm gonna need you to fulfill that dream.
We all have dreams, but we outgrow them.
Don't you have a dream?
Yeah, right now it's for Zoro to not die in my bed.
But isn't there something that you want more than anything else in this world?
Not everyone gets to follow their dreams.
gut punch after gut punch in this damn episode. Damn.
I spent time with Luffy. He doesn't follow the rules. He thinks for himself no matter what anyone else says. Because Luffy knows exactly what he is.
And what's that?
Pirate.
Whoa! That's so cool.
And the song.
Who's hungry? No one leaves except you.
God damn.
I'm looking for a pirate in a straw hat. Goes by the name of Luffy. Well, I already have a meal. But if you don't bring me the straw hat boy before I finish, maybe I might just start adding some of these nice folks to the menu.
Oh.
We've really got to see a lot more of his personality, and I'm digging. I'm digging.
How's he doing?
Arlong.
We're going to protect this place.
This isn't your fight. Why would you do that?
You fed us.
Fishmen are superior to humans in every single way. Wouldn't you agree?
Damn, dude.
Which one of you is Arlong?
How is this even gonna go down like this right now? How?
This is the pirate I've heard so much about.
How you find me anyway?
Old friend helped me track you down.
Buggy's there too?
Burpee?
Burpee?
What are you doing here?
Believe me, it wasn't my first choice either.
I told you, I've got eyes and ears everywhere.
Oh my god!
Ah, stereo!
You heard everything?
Everything. Oh, wait, no, not back in the bag. It's so dark and wet and sandy.
That was crazy.
I want my map.
That was perfect.
You're gonna have to fight me for it.
Then let the fighting begin.
Oh, damn.
Oh!
Woo! No one touches my, basically my dad, basically like that. Oh my god, he looks crazy. Stop.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Is that all you got?
Whoa, that looked fucking sick. They look terrifying. They look so scary.
Oh, shit.
I have it.
The tat.
Ah.
You just like I said I would. I was never on your crew.
Ooh, it looks sick.
Looks super sick.
Not until I finish my meal.
Why waste your time killing a devil fruit eater? Let the sea do it for you.
Oh yeah, I saw it in the trailer, boy. I was waiting.
Where's Nami?
She's gone.
Daz, chill the fuck out, dude. You got him. Put your shirt on, dude.
I need you to wake up.
You gonna keep talking or let me get some sleep?
Fully on top of him.
I, Roronoa Zoro, vow to stand by your side from now until the end. Until we find the One Piece or die trying.
Heard you guys need a cook.
Me? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Oh.
Hey, Sanji! You keep your feet dry. Goodbye, Zeph. You know, all these years, living under your shitty roof, cooking at your shitty restaurant, I owe you my life. Thank you for putting up with my shit all these years, old man. I'll never forget you, Zeph.
The send off. So perfect.
It was still very emotional, given the context of everything.
Yeah.
Seeing it again, you know?
We're going after Nami, but how are we gonna find her?
Oh, he got him. I had a feeling, yeah.
Hello, boys!
That face? Oh my God, that was so buggy. I have a lot of thoughts on this episode. Mostly good, but I have a few nitpicks.
Oh, okay.
I, for the most part, really enjoyed everything that we saw. This episode had a lot of heart. It had a lot that it had to do. And we see Luffy at his lowest here. Sanji joining the crew. I mean, Nami's betrayal. So much happened in this episode. But there were things that I feel like, and I haven't really felt this way in any other arc, with Orange Town being squeezed down and Syrup Village being squeezed down.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really felt it as much as I did kind of feel it here. I also want to say that I think the actor who's portraying Arlong is absolutely killing it in his performance. What he was adding in terms of like, not just the tone, but the body language, the mannerisms, the presence of Arlong, all of that I think worked. I think he did an outstanding job. I just feel like the prosthetics in a couple shots, the tighter shots specifically, didn't like hold up to scrutiny, I guess. And there were parts that felt really rushed. The key moments, the flashback, the send-off, the moments that needed to work did work. Those are just some of my initial thoughts. Overall, I really enjoyed it, but I felt the most...
kind of all over the place. There was a lot happening. Again, like we said before, like the key moments are there. The key moments are being adapted well. That's all we could hope for. And the things that are being changed. And, you know, that's just how it's going to be. This was, I agree, there was a lot happening in this episode. A lot more than I think other previous episodes that we've seen thus far. I think just like character introductions and everything involved. I think that's kind of the reason why like we're feeling this way. But again, the next 2 episodes, it just had to happen. It just had to happen like this. It had to go, even more so than it has been, because the last 2 episodes are like, you know, the finale.
Yeah.
So I think they did the best job they could with like tightening everything, because it just felt like a lot. But
yeah, I really do. The core of what's important. And it's funny because, you know, we've brought this up as a positive in other discussions, but like changing things but keeping its core, what that scene, what that moment really is underneath everything else. You know, we've said as long as they were able to do that, it didn't matter. And what is at the core here is Sanji and Zep. But I feel like we really, really, really lost out on Sanji feeling like the other members of the Baratier were also part of his like dysfunctional family. I mean, we saw him and Patty kind of have an exchange here and there, but outside of Patty, I mean, that was really it.
Yeah, it was mainly just Zep.
I don't need to see the other deck and the other fight and Krieg and even Gin and what they did with all of that stuff. Like, you know, as a fan, of course, I want to see it all, but I don't mind. Like, I don't mind trimming things and cutting things or rearranging them the way that they did. What I really feel like we lost was some of that dysfunctional family between all of the chefs. And so even though the send-off was perfect, I just didn't feel...
I mean, no one else, like, even in the manga, you know, we'll talk about spoilers, but it was much more emotional because of that, right?
Yes.
The send-off, everyone was sad to see him go. So I get what you're saying in that sense. I think that because of what they added, especially with Kobe and Garp, and also the Straw Hats, specifically Luffy, I think that in the live action, especially if you're just a person that isn't really familiar with like the source material or anything, you know, Luffy in the live action, he's having these moments of like kind of clarity, and even when he's talking to Zoro, you know, and like, okay, let me restart, let me say it again.
Yeah,
like he's much more emotional in the live action than I think he is in, you know, the source material. We do see emotion from Luffy, but I think that for a show, for you to care about a character, it needs to happen. You need to see that from a character, because if it was just like manga Luffy, people would be like, why is he just like not caring about any of this? Like, he's a little too optimistic about the whole situation. Like, not saying that Luffy does not show any emotion in the manga. He does in the anime, he does, but he's very reflective. He's much more reflective, I think, especially in those moments. So that was added in place of like scenes maybe with, you know, Patty and the rest of the chefs. And I think that they really wanted to drive home the relationship between Zev and Sanji because that's all they had time for.
Yeah. And if you only have time for something, that's the thing that you need to dedicate time to. You have to dedicate time to that.
Exactly. Again, I'm just like speaking from like maybe I have no idea. I was not in the room when they were
yeah. And in terms of like episode order, it could be a budget thing. It could be Netflix saying like, okay, well, we're only able to give you 8 episodes.
I mean, it could be anything.
It could have been a myriad of things.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing too, and again, these are small nitpicks. Overall, I really, really enjoyed the episode. And I think it stayed true to a lot of those core moments. But the other thing was like, I just thought it might have been I wondered how the episode would have played, especially for new viewers, if the Nami quote unquote betrayal felt more real, because she had that connection with Zoro right before she left. She felt really conflicted about leaving. So when we see her leave, we know that she's not really like betraying them. We know.
Well, we don't know.
I mean, it was very heavy. It was very heavy-handed. Don't look at the camera. It was because the way she said what she said, and then
she was brutal at the end.
Was she though? I mean, she told Arlong to stop. Arlong was in the middle of killing Luffy.
She said, "Let the sea do it for you," which is the worst.
Right. I just wonder how that would have played if like.
No, I mean,
we believed it.
I really am enjoying the dynamics between the Straw Hats and like their bond and seeing that, especially with Luffy, and they're like becoming more of a family, and Zoro's allegiance now said in words to Luffy, like that's super important because of what just happened with Nami, and he was on the brink of death. So just like hearing that, I'm sure like really is gonna help him going forward, which I think it did in that moment too. And now that Sanji's here, like we're getting it back, and
guys, I also want to say this. I love One Piece with all of my heart, and so far, and even still, I am loving this adaptation. I am just expressing my own opinion like I encourage everybody else to do. I just have PTSD, from expressing my opinion before.
No. And but it's not anything bad. It's just things that they cut out that you feel, in your opinion, were a thing that should have been portrayed a little bit more.
Because I also feel like,
in your opinion,
you made a great point about them wanting to spend more time with Luffy, because I understand, like, structurally, as a live action show, as a season of television, structurally, I know that there needs to be a point where our main character is at his lowest point. And so I know they needed to drive that home. I get that. But I feel like spending so much time, and that's the tricky part. And I really empathize with the writers, because they were in a really tough spot, because they need to show that. And the things that they decided to show were very important things. But I feel like spending all that time with Luffy in those moments with him and Zoro, and then Nami and Zoro, it needed to happen, but it took away from Sanji. So I feel like Sanji didn't even get a lot of time, which he
Besides his backstory.
He got his backstory, but I feel like it took away from the time that Sanji might have had to like interact with them a little bit more, because even when by the time he got on the Mary, I know he gets on the Mary because of all of the events that happen in the anime and manga, and it makes sense to me. But here, it didn't really, like, I don't know, it didn't make as much sense, because it feels like he didn't spend nearly as much time with them.
It felt like, again, like he made his decision, right, about who Luffy is, and he got the vibe from the crew just hanging out with them. I understand that. And I do know it did kind of feel like he, again, in the source material, he kind of does this too, but like he kind of like in spite, that little fight where it's like, go, I'm giving you permission. Like they're literally saying like nice things to each other, but they're being like mad, which is kind of like their relationship. But I didn't have I didn't really have a problem with that. It did feel like, oh damn, because when he does get on the ship, you go, oh fuck, like I guess that's it.
Yeah.
If you're watching it for the first time, oh shit, I mean, I guess he just had a fight with him and is like leaving. Holy shit, he's done with this crap. But then at the end, we get that heartfelt speech, like, because this man ate his leg to save this child. Like, that he had a soft spot for him, and that he wanted to live his dream. He was just mad at him for not going to even try to achieve it, because he didn't think he could, or wanted to stay with Zeph or whatever. And obviously we know more context about Sanji later on in the story, which made this even more like powerful seeing it again. But I think that I liked that. I will say though, like when it comes to Nami, and you're talking about like the betrayal and stuff, I think that it maybe would have been more impactful if she had left that morning.
Oh, right. Yeah.
If she just like disappeared into, the day, and everyone's like, where's Nami at? And then the map's gone. And then they were able to like meet Arlong later. Like, because she just, to Luffy, like that interaction I think was shocking because she did seem really cold and did like, I am a pirate pretty much. I've been a pirate for years. And I think it was impactful for him. Obviously, we know she was conflicted, but Luffy doesn't know that. We saw that,
Yeah, that's true. So, and again, like I said, overall, I really did enjoy the majority of the episode, and I feel like a lot of the important core emotional beats were done absolutely beautifully. Flashback specifically was done so well. Always been one of my favorites from the the core crew. I always really like that backstory. Broke me. But yeah, we can move on to not necessarily like full blown spoiler territory, but just more context from the events of this arc within the source material. So yeah, go off, Megan, if there's anything specific that you have to say.
I mean, obviously the addition to Buggy in all of this, I mean, not that I'm complaining. Love Buggy. It's so fun now. I mean, he's like with the crew, like so crazy.
Yeah. I'm excited to see more of that dynamic.
I think they were just like, he's so good. We just have to, we need to write him more.
Yeah.
Like, he's just that good. Like,
I mean, he is, though.
Throughout the whole thing. And obviously, like, the changes between, like, we mentioned, like, Arlong in the source material, not at the Baratier at all. And Nami's betrayal definitely felt more impactful in the source material, like you were saying. But again, it was impactful to Luffy because, she has been on his quote-unquote crew, where they've been through a lot together, and he doesn't know whether or not that's real or fake.
Yeah.
I think Zoro probably heard some of the things that she said and got to know her a little bit more.
He had a dream, right?
And he had a little bit more. And he knew a little bit more about her, like, backstory, I guess, than Luffy, because they had the whole drinking contest thing. So I think he got to know her a little bit more. But I think that it's not going to, like, take away from what's going to happen in the next 2 episodes at all. I think it'll be...
I really think, I really fully believe that they're going to nail Arlong Park. I think that that's a big moment that they have spent a lot of time and given a lot of time, attention, and focus to adapting correctly. I fully believe that. I just think, again, in terms of how, and I honestly, Karubi and Chu, I think they look incredible. I actually think that Chu looked kind of scary sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. Chu was kind of freaking me out, and I'm gonna have nightmares about Chu. But I generally think that their like prosthetics and their sort of look works sometimes better than Arlong. I do not want to take away from this actor's portrayal of Arlong though, and I love seeing.
I really had no really issues with the prosthetics.
And it wasn't all the time.
I know, but even in it's supposed to look, I mean, unnatural.
For sure.
He's a fish man. Like, this is like, he's a sword fish.
No, absolutely.
And he's supposed to look like kind of not human.
For sure.
Yeah, I think some of the, I don't really have an issue, but I can understand how you could.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't every shot. It really, really wasn't. There were just a couple times I felt like it was really like suffocating almost. But I loved his portrayal, and I loved seeing how he speaks to humans, and I love seeing him interact with humans in this way, and that we're getting all this information in that one scene about how fishmen are viewed in the world of One Piece and how they are viewed as less than human, when in all actuality, they are far superior in a lot of ways, especially in a world that revolves around the sea. Something about his presence and what he was able to do in terms of like bringing the character of Arlong to life really blew me away. But yeah, I really fully believe that they're going to nail Arlong Park.
I can't believe we're almost done with the series. It's like, whoa, it's insane. I am so excited now to see more interactions with Sanji on the crew, interactions with him and Zoro, Buggy being involved somehow, some way. I never would have expected that, never would have guessed that, but that's what I like about the series and how it is becoming just like, again, its own entity. It's taking from the source material and nailing those parts that it needs to nail, but really having fun with like what hasn't been done in the, like what is fun and what can be done that hasn't been done yet and isn't canon. is still fun because, you know, we all love these characters. We all love to see them interact. We all love to see them ever. So those little things like Kobe and Garp and Buggy being on the Mary right now, like they're just little fun tidbits that I'm enjoying.
Gin never came back into the equation either, which I kind of didn't expect him to, but I was like holding out hope. I wanted to reserve judgment until I saw for certain that he wasn't going to reappear in the story, and he didn't. Again, they're cramming so much. And in other arcs, I said it before, I haven't felt it, but in this arc specifically, in these 2 episodes, I did feel it a bit. There's the fan in me that would have really loved to see more of that, because I feel like that was an important moment for Sanji's character. I said I was going to talk about it more in the last episode if it didn't come to fruition in this episode, so here it is.
I mean, Sanji has gotten thus far, besides Luffy, the longest flashback so far. Would you agree or disagree?
Yes, but Zoro's we got throughout the episode a bit.
But I mean, like,
all at once.
Not cutting away.
Not cutting away, for sure.
That's why it felt way more impactful, I feel like. It would have been cool if they would have, like, cut it and then sprinkled in moments with, like, the found family, like you said, and the chefs and everything, but that was, like, perfect.
It was, but that shows you, like, why Sanji is so endeared to Zeph, which they nailed, but it doesn't necessarily inform you on, like, who he is now. There were other moments in this adaptation that did that, but I feel like it wasn't driven home enough as I would have personally liked it to be,
because there's so much other stuff going on. You're basically saying, like, his backstory and his arc kind of suffered because of things that were added into the episode that were not canon, that had to happen because of the episode count.
Not to the detriment of the show overall in the sense that I feel like I'm completely like taken out.
But it happened, not in a bad way, but like in this particular episode, because there was a lot going on, because it was non-canon events. I think that's why it kind of was like, oh, this is
and I absolutely
this is you know, he's on the Baratier, like we should be.
And I fully understand the structure of a episodic television series that has certain beats to hit, but I did feel like Sanji's some of his moments and some but see, here's the thing. I really do think that we're gonna get to know him more in the next 2 episodes.
Of course. I feel like, I mean, everything that he did in this episode was just like perfect. I think I got to know him enough. And yeah, his fight scene was so sick too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
Even the fight with Luffy and Arlong, that was
I mean, he was getting a shit rocked.
He was, but it looks so good. The visual effects look so good. I have been
Usopp running away,
blown away. I'm loving this version of Usopp. He does feel different from the anime and manga version of Usopp, but I love him, and I think he works in live action and is incredible. He makes me laugh while still being so true to the Usopp I know and love. And the same with Taz. Like Taz, when we did get to see him in those moments, he fucking crushes it. I knew he was going to crush it from everything we had seen. Everybody, all the Straw Hats, everybody, all the actors are crushing it, killing it. And I can't wait to see even more from Arlong and from Chu and from Karubi. I can't wait to see what those actors bring to those characters, because we've seen them so briefly and they've already stole those scenes, especially Arlong. Again, it just, like you said, to put it more bluntly, it just does come down to me feeling and wishing that Sanji would have gotten a little more focus during these Baratier episodes, but there's a lot going on, a lot of other important things that needs to be addressed, and I do feel like it felt a little rushed, and certain things as a fan that I would have liked to see ended up, in my opinion, getting sacrificed. And I understand why, but you know, I love this character. I love this arc, and I'm gonna have certain hang-ups with certain things, but I'm still loving everything and super excited to see these final 2 episodes. And now more than ever, I mean, let me know your thoughts on this episode specifically, because I am so conflicted about. I have almost fully loved every second of every other episode, and this is the first one that I think I've felt the most sort of like conflicted about. While I liked the majority of it, and of course all the Kobe and Garp scenes and Helmeppo, like they've all been great and such a treat.
It makes so much sense now as to why Garp is doing what he's doing. He is trying to prevent not Luffy being a pirate, not Luffy, whatever. He did mess up and he wants him to pay for it, but it makes so much sense. He doesn't want him to go to the Grand Line. He thinks he's gonna die.
Yeah.
In that moment between Kobe and Mihawk and Garp.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Once Mihawk's like, you know what, I actually want to see him go to the Grand Line. Like the fear in Garp's face of like, well, he's not going. Well, that's not gonna happen. I'm not ever gonna let that happen. Because it's not like he doesn't want him to like experience the world. He thinks he's going to perish, and that scares the shit out of him. And he's trying his most to just be like, just trying to get him from stop him from doing this thing. And I just felt that in that moment because it like Mihawk, a warlord of the sea, is curious to see like how your grandson's gonna play out on the Grand Line. Like it's either good or bad. Yeah. But in this case, like, I don't know, maybe Garp is half and half. He's scared of him perishing, or he's scared of the potential of him growing into an even more formidable. I think it goes hand in hand. Because if Mihawk's saying that, I mean, Mihawk would have been like, okay, I'm gonna take him and give him to you. I don't really know why.
Yeah.
And
that was such a great way of showing the dynamic between the warlords and the Marines to show how, confident and, feet kicked up on the desk Mihawk was, because in his mind, you guys need me. Like, I'm going to be doing what I'm going to be doing regardless of you. He said that. Like,
they're wild dogs.
That's a great way to show that.
They're wild dogs on a very long leash. That's what I would describe the warlords as. Like, they could cut the leash at any time, but they choose to wear it so that they could get away with certain things. Yep. And they're working hand in hand. I mean, in the case of other warlords, I mean, it just way out of hand. What you guys let that go on for way too long. Wild. There's some, again, that's what I love about One Piece so much. It's like there's some warlords that are like, Mihawk doesn't give a like, he's not really doing anything. Like, he's just doing himself. He's doing him. He's living pretty. He's drinking his wine. He's being fabulous. And we have other emperors. I guess we're in the spoiler territory now, right? We said that a while ago.
We were in the,
for this point
the
on.
spoiler-ish territory, but nothing beyond the...
There's someone else protecting their territory. Yeah. That's why they decided to be one. And it's just like the levels, again, of like pirates and Marines, the levels of corruptness, the levels of evil, it's just all of it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say again, Buggy, like, oh my God, that we're finally getting to see that goofy Buggy. Like, he is ahead. He cannot do anything right now on his own. He cannot fight his way out of this. He cannot do anything. So he's going to suck up as much as he can.
And it's going to be cool to see like how long he is involved, or how much of these next 2 episodes he's going to be involved in. Because it does kind of like set up so many other things up down the road. I'm so glad I remembered to talk about this too. Maybe we should
backtrack?
No. Maybe we should put a spoiler. Like, now is the spoiler.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Talk. I almost, oh my God, we almost wrapped up the episode without mentioning this. Okay, so if you don't want anything beyond this episode spoiled, or you're not caught up, here is your warning. Okay. Nolan the Liar.
Oh, yeah.
And Skypiea and the City of Gold and, Jaya and everything that they're setting up in that story. Like, that got me so excited. Everything, like Nami saying all of those things and
it gives me hope, but I didn't see it as a confirmation that the story will continue on. I would love that. I would hope that. I would pray for that every night. But I saw it as, again, a tip of the hat to the readers and the watchers of the source material.
I think what it is both. I think that
both,
it is.
Yeah.
It is like a tip of the hat to fans, right? But also it's like a way of exciting fans and wanting them to get that far, which we all do, so that if and when they do, they can have that Easter egg planted all the way in season 1. Sorry, I burped. That was kind of wild. That was so cool, though.
I think that going from last episode to this episode,
it's going to be jarring.
Yeah, it just like, it's not that they're, like this one was bad at all. It was amazing. Everyone's been amazing. But the one previously, I think like the action shots, Mihawk in general, like it was just hype,
Yeah.
And it flowed really well.
It did. It really did.
But I think that the next 2 episodes are going to be like spotlight. I think that it's going to be insane.
I mean, we've been talking about moments that they have to nail, and this is a whole arc that they have to nail. Very important moments, and I believe that they're going to do it wholeheartedly.
Oh, yeah.
But again, like I was saying earlier, please consider subscribing to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. And like I said, leave your comments on this episode, especially because it's the one that I'm personally the most conflicted about. How did you feel about it? Do you agree with any of the points that I made? Do you disagree? If you disagree, that's totally fine. I would love to hear your thoughts and how you felt about it as you watched it. Any and all of those, leave them down below, and we will read as many of them as we can, if not all of them. Sometimes we really do read every single comment, and we always try to. But yeah, so liking, subscribing, commenting, it also helps in the algorithm, all that stuff. And if you'd like to see the full uncut, unedited, uncensored versions of these reactions, you can do that by becoming a Patreon member by going to patreon.com/volume1pod, or by becoming a YouTube member and clicking join somewhere next to the subscribe button on this video. It helps us out greatly. It means the world to us. I mean, the reason we're able to do the things we do is because of our Patreon and YouTube members. So if you're able and you would like to join that family, and again, you get access to the unobscured, unedited reactions that are lowest tier on both places. So if you'd like to do that, again, patreon.com/volume1pod, or click join somewhere next to the subscribe button to become a YouTube member. We appreciate any and all ways that you show your support. But the only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro that is always the same and never changes, which today, Megan, is go eat a leg.
Don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day. I like it. Thank you for watching. Thank you again for any and all ways that you show your support. And until next time,
don't skip leg day. Don't do it. I see those legs. They look like chicken legs. You're just doing arms.
If I ate